All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Well, today we're going to get kind of philosophical. We're looking at excerpts from this book, The Illusion of Ignorance, Atlantean Wisdom on Inner Light. It's by Grandmaster WaXhira of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of Grandmaster WaXhira. He's got some fascinating ideas.
He really does. And the whole premise of this book is, well, kind of mind-blowing. What if, ignorance isn't something you have to fight? What if it's just, the absence of something you already have inside you?
I like that. It's a total shift in perspective. We always talk about fighting ignorance, battling against it, but what if it's not a thing in itself?
Yeah, exactly.
Think about darkness. It's not a thing, right? It's just the absence of light.
Oh, I see what you mean. So instead of trying to, punch ignorance in the face, we should be, flipping on a light switch?
That's a great way to put it. Grandmaster WaXhira actually uses that analogy. He talks about a lamp in a dark room. You don't, wrestle with the darkness to make it go away, do you?
No, you just turn on the light.
Exactly. And poof, darkness is gone. Not because it was defeated in some epic battle, but because it was never really there to begin with.
Okay, yeah, that's starting to click for me.
Yeah.
So, let's say I come across some crazy conspiracy theory online, or I don't know, maybe even just one of my own deep-seated fears.
Yeah.
So instead of getting all riled up and arguing about it, I should just, shine a flashlight on it.
Well, not literally, of course. But yeah, the idea is to consider what kind of light needs to be introduced to the situation. What facts, what evidence, what understanding could help illuminate things and reveal the truth.
So it's more about understanding than fighting.
Exactly. And that's actually a key principle in the book, what Grandmaster WaXhira calls the law of illumination.
Law of illumination. I like that. It sounds very official and mystical.
Right. It's like something out of an ancient scroll.
Exactly. So break it down for me. What does it actually mean?
So the law of illumination basically says that truth, just by its nature, kind of pushes out ignorance. Just like light, naturally gets rid of darkness. It's not even trying. It just does.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. If you have the facts, the truth is going to eventually come out, even if people are trying to hide it.
Yeah, exactly. Think about the scientific method. You start with a hypothesis, right? And then you test it, gather evidence, and through that whole process, the things that are false get exposed, and the truth just kind of emerges.
Oh, I get it. It's not about force. It's about, a gentle revealing.
Yeah.
You're just letting the truth naturally come out.
Precisely. And there's this other idea in the book that really got me thinking. It says that we shouldn't be fighting ignorance at all.
Wait, really? But isn't standing up for what you believe in, fighting for justice, sometimes about, confronting ignorance head on?
That's a great point. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah. Because, if we just let ignorance fester, won't it just spread and get worse?
That's the instinct, right, to fight back. But what Grandmaster WaXhira is saying is that when you fight something, you're actually giving it power. You're acknowledging it as a real thing, an entity that you need to battle.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
It's like if you're stuck in a river and the current's pulling you downstream, you could try to fight against it with all your might, exhausting yourself in the struggle. But a more effective approach might be to just relax, let go, and find a way to float to safety.
Oh, okay. I get that.
Don't expend your energy on battling the current, Instead, focus on navigating the situation with wisdom and grace.
Okay, I see what you mean. So it's not about fighting fire with fire. It's more about finding a different approach.
Exactly. And that kind of reminds me of some of those classic spiritual teachings, like Jesus saying, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free.
Oh, yeah. Or Buddha's quote, ignorance is the root of all suffering.
Right. They're all kind of getting at the same idea. It's not about duking it out with the darkness. It's about embracing the light, letting it guide you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And speaking of, the forces at play in the world, there's another point in the book that really jumped out at me. Grandmaster WaXhira says that society actually fears the light.
That's a provocative idea, isn't it? I mean, why would anyone fear something as positive and beneficial as light?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What does that even mean?
Well, the book suggests that keeping people in the dark, so to speak, is a way to maintain control. Think about it. If everyone suddenly woke up and started seeing things clearly, questioning everything, demanding truth, it would kind of shake things up, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. A lot of systems wouldn't be able to function the same way if everyone was truly aware and informed. It's kind of like if you want to control people, you got to keep them distracted, keep them in the dark about what's really going on.
Exactly. And if everyone had access to the full light of truth, well, It would be a lot harder to manipulate them.
That is a pretty intense concept.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get practical for a second. The book also talks about some specific steps we can take to, like, stop blocking the light in our own life.
Yeah.
But what are some of those?
The book outlines 3 key practices: cultivating awareness, questioning everything, and embracing stillness.
So being present, being skeptical, and finding some peace and quiet.
Exactly. It's all about creating the right conditions for the light to shine through. So let's start with awareness. That means really paying attention to what's happening in the present moment. Notice your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. But don't judge them, just observe them, like a scientist observing a specimen under a microscope.
Okay, that makes sense. So just, like, be present and pay attention.
Yeah.
What about questioning everything?
Ah, yes, the healthy skepticism. It's about developing those critical thinking skills. Don't just accept everything you hear or read at face value. Dig deeper, research, challenge assumptions, especially when it comes to those dominant narratives, those stories that society keeps telling us over and over again.
Oh, yeah. Like those stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what's possible, what's important.
Exactly. Those narratives can really keep us in the dark if we don't question them.
Right. It's like we need to shine a light on those stories, see if they're actually true or if they're just, like, shadows on the wall.
Exactly. And then there's embracing stillness. It's all about carving out time for quiet reflection, meditation, or whatever helps you kind of quiet the mental chatter and connect with that deeper part of yourself.
So finding those moments of peace and quiet where the light can kind of seep in.
Yes. Think of it like this. Your mind is like a lake. When it's all choppy and stirred up, it's hard to see anything clearly. But when the water is still, you can see right to the bottom.
That is such a good analogy.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like, when I'm constantly busy and stressed, it's harder to think clearly, to make good decisions.
Exactly. And when we create that stillness, we create space for the light of truth to emerge.
These are really great points, and I can definitely see how incorporating these practices could lead to some pretty major shifts in how we see the world and ourselves. Now, the book also dives into the Atlantean perspective on all of this, and that's something I'm super curious about. How did this ancient civilization view light?
The Atlanteans, as described by Grandmaster WaXhira, had a very unique perspective. They didn't worship specific gods or deities in the way that many other cultures did.
Oh, interesting. So what did they revere?
They revered truth itself. It was like their ultimate guiding principle, the source of all wisdom and understanding.
Wow. So their rituals weren't about, like, escaping darkness or appeasing some angry deity. It was more about stepping into the light of truth.
Exactly. They saw light as a symbol of knowledge, awareness, and connection to something greater than themselves, and they saw it everywhere. A storm, for example, wasn't something to be feared, but rather a reminder of the raw power of light. Even a sunrise was considered an invitation, a daily beckoning from the light.
I love that imagery. It's like they were constantly surrounded by reminders of the light, both within themselves and in the world around them.
Yes, they were very in tune with nature and saw it as a manifestation of the divine.
That's beautiful. And there's this quote from Grandmaster WaXhira that really struck me. The journey isn't about finding the light. It's about becoming the kind of person who can see it. It's like he's saying that the light is already there, but we need to do the inner work to be able to perceive it.
That's a powerful insight, isn't it? It's not about searching externally for something that's missing, but rather about transforming ourselves internally so that we can recognize the light that's already present.
It's like we need to become the kind of people who are, like, attuned to the light, receptive to it. What experiences in your life have kind of helped you see the light more clearly?
That's a really great question. And I think it's something we can all reflect on. What moments, what experiences, what practices have opened our eyes to the truth, to the beauty, to the goodness that's all around us. It might be different for everyone, but I think those moments are always there waiting for us to discover them.
I love that. It's like those moments are little glimpses of the light, reminding us that it's always there, even when we can't see it. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most mind-blowing concept in the book, the idea that you are the light.
Ah, yes, the grand finale, the ultimate revelation.
Exactly. But I gotta admit, that one's kind of hard to wrap my head around. What does it actually mean to be the light?
It's about recognizing that the same light that illuminates the cosmos, the same energy that fuels the stars, is also within each and every one of us. It's not something separate from us, something we need to search for or acquire. It's our very essence.
Wow. So it's not just that we have the potential to be good or kind or loving. It's that, like, at our core, we are those things.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift in how we see ourselves and our place in the universe. We're not just these separate, isolated beings struggling to make our way in the world. We're interconnected. We're part of something much larger than ourselves, and that something is pure light.
That is a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly beautiful.
It really is.
So to kind of wrap up this mind-expanding deep dive into the illusion of ignorance,
Yeah.
sounds like the main takeaway is that ignorance isn't this enemy that we need to conquer. It's more like an illusion that we can dispel by letting the light in. And that light, it turns out, is something we already are.
Exactly. We're not just searching for the light. We are the light, seeking itself.
Wow. So if that's true, then the real question becomes, what's blocking our light from shining? What are those things in our lives and ourselves that are preventing us from fully expressing that inner light?
And what steps can we take to remove those obstacles and let our light shine brightly?
That is definitely something to ponder. And for those of you who want to explore these ideas further, you can check out the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood on YouTube. Their channel is youtube.com/Atlantean Brotherhood. They've got tons of videos and resources on all sorts of spiritual topics, including this whole concept of the illusion of ignorance and the power of inner light.
It's a treasure trove of wisdom.
It really is. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep letting your light shine.
And don't forget to have fun along the way.
Exactly. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.